Welcome back to ErogeBros, and I guess we may as well call this episode Depression Bros because,
Oh no.
yeah, shit's gonna get real.
Oh, is he gonna beat the cat girls to death and wear them as, like, trophies?
Well, they're gonna feel like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dark. But even so, this wasn't something I was going to easily change my mind about. Killing those cat girls. It was all the more with how much she cared for me. Wow. Sentence structure.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is it that much of a bother for us to be here, master? Are we bad cat girls? Boop. She spoke quietly, in her usual way.
I adhere to Asimov's 3 laws of cat girls.
Except no violence to humans. That one I subvert. Vanilla tilted her head as she asked that question. Wow.
You two aren't bad cat girls, and that's why I can't have you stay here.
We can't stay here even though we aren't bad cat girls?
It's because you're good, that's why.
This is a logical fallacy. Please do not use logical fallacies. She blinked.
Oh.
It was almost as if she was trying to peer inside my heart. She stared directly through me, processing. Humans are hard to understand. Cat girls do not understand such things. If we are like a human, we want to be near them. At the very least, that is how I feel.
Vanilla.
I will go check on Dracula. Boop boop. Shloom. With those words, she went upstairs. The sound of her small footsteps slowly cracking the stairs open. Before long, I couldn't hear them.
Humans are hard to understand, huh?
Inside the bakery, now devoid of anyone but myself, I repeated those words she had just said to me.
Now that I think about it, it's a pretty inconsistent way of thinking, isn't it?
Well, it does kind of imply that he only wants bad cat girls. Cats do not understand that. Having heard that she said aloud, I began to understand what it really meant.
It must be pretty nice to live the simple life of a cat girl, huh?
I pondered as I looked at the name of the bakery affixed to the window.
Affixed is a big word for this game.
It is. It's like 3 whole consonants. With a bitter smile, I began to clean up the tea sets that had arrived earlier.
Fuck, I broke his cup.
Let's just say the cup broke itself. Alright. Huh? That Taiyuaki seller isn't here today? Just like yesterday, we took a walk through the park in the evening. However, the food stand was now nowhere to be found. It just so happened that no one was home on the day I decided to take the 2 cat girls home. Huh. I had also happened to leave the house key behind. So, to make good use of time, I went to do some shopping before Shigure got home. Capitalism.
Yeah. Sorry, Vanilla. Oh, what was it called? Catnip? Yeah. I love me some catnip. 420 catnip it.
Oh, jeez. That sounds about right.
That isn't the right word at all. Chocola, if you're tired, why don't we rest a bit?
Okay. Maybe for a little bit. Wait, no, Chocola's fine. Sorry to worry you, master.
There's no need for you to apologize.
She had a troubled smile on her face as she nodded. It was pretty clear why she wasn't in good spirits. That's why there was nothing I could really say to her.
Well, there happens to be a bench over here. Why don't we rest a bit?
In that case, I will go buy something to drink.
Thanks. Something for everyone, okay? Not just motor oil.
Understood. Motor oil and juice. Leave it to me. I handed Vanilla some change and offered the bench to Chocola. Are they, like, not allowed to have their own money?
I don't know. But, yeah, this is where it gets like, hey, welcome to DepressionBros.
The constant sea breeze rustled the trees and my jimmies in the park. All that could be heard throughout the empty park were the quiet sounds of nature. I silently sat down next to the disheartened Chocola. Like the gently setting sun, time passed by slowly.
Chocola, we'll go home.
Her voice was so quiet that I wasn't quite sure that I had heard her or not, so I asked her to repeat herself. Even so, she answered clearly. Without saying a word, I responded by gently rubbing her head.
Is it alright if Chocola calls you sometimes, Master?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be alright if I visit you in Alaska?
I guess.
Master Miller, will you be sure to think about us every day? Is it alright for Chocola, to call you Master, even if Chocola's far away from you?
Her voice trembled as she frantically wiped away her tears. She stifled her sobbing, and her voice became strained. She looked pained as she did her best to hold back her emotions, biting her lips, and finally she pooped. Couldn't help it. I held back my irresponsible words that were on the brink of coming out with all my strength.
And I punched her in the face.
Yeah, of course I will.
Boss. Brought to you by Spring Allergies. Chocola is sorry, Master.
I was frustrated at myself for saying nothing. I was empty.
Oh, wow.
I could only offer condolences that could not be put into words. I rubbed Chocola's head as gently as I could.
Sniffle, you are really kind, aren't you, Master?
I don't think I'm kind at all.
You said the same thing before you threw me off that bridge in Metal Gear Solid 3, Master.
Before what? Wait, what?
Chocola closed her eyes and smiled.
Do you remember CQC? We're taken home by Master and Shigure-chan.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was a cold day. Half a year ago! Chocola and Vanilla were huddled together, crying by the side of the road. They were still so young, they couldn't even speak yet. It was that day that I embraced their small, cold bodies and took them home with me.
Context.
There was no way I could simply forget that important day when our family grew.
In the beginning, you two really couldn't get used to things at home.
We were scared back then because we were in an unfamiliar house with people and cat girls we didn't know.
You two wouldn't eat at all, which really worried Shigure. Not me, I'm an uncaring bastard.
Yes, we really did make her worry. But not you, though. Why?
Strange. I started to hear a tiny bit of laughter in her voice as we reminisced about my psychopathy.
Do you remember when Chocola and Vanilla had a fever, too?
Oh, yeah, from when you swallowed that entire pack of cigarettes. What's wrong with you?
It was a few days after we brought Chocola and Vanilla home.
Okay, now look at how big their heads are compared to the rest of their bodies. Like, their heads are literally as wide as their shoulders. They have gigantism of the head, people.
Humans are like that too, though.
I guess.
Aiden, as a baby, like, his head is so much bigger than the rest of his body by proportion.
I guess.
That, like, for him trying to learn how to crawl, the struggle is getting his head up off the floor. At that point, they'd only occasionally drink some water. And, as always, they didn't really touch their food. The combination of malnourishment and cold weather had really begun to weaken their bodies. They both developed high fevers and were in pain. No
one had realized it that night. But we felt so much pain. The pain and anguish and the loneliness.
and the sorrow.
Ah, you beat me to it. We couldn't speak or move our arms at all. Just an endless river of all those guys that I killed. All we could do was cry and cry. The sorrow. And then the fury!
It's alright. I'm with you too, so no worry!
Don't worry, eh? With your big, warm hands. You gently rubbed our heads, Master.
Context.
You kept saying, don't worry, as you stayed by our side. And continued to stroke and comfort both Chocolate and Vanilla. One morning came, you took us to the hospital. You were always by our side. We felt so anxious and helpless, it felt like it was all just lies to us. Back then, you said the same thing. That you didn't... that you didn't think you were being kind. But if Master hadn't saved us, Chocolate and Vanilla wouldn't be here right now. Back then, I wondered if I had any more lines that I'd speak in a row. But it turns out I was wrong and I'm still speaking. Wow, for real? We were able to become friends with Shigure-chan and everyone else. God, more lines. Oh my god. Next time on ErogeBros.
See you later, guys. Dylan's gotta, cough a lung up here, so...
Yeah.